I say good morning to you all. Let me add my welcome to you all and thank you most sincerely for turning up this morning. We always appreciate that you come this early to be with us for these occasions, which are very important calendar events of this company. So we are today announcing our half-year results, and we are very pleased to do that. It's sad that our usual star on these occasions, Bob Collymore, is not with us this morning. I think many of you have read or seen reports that Bob got ill and was referred to doctors outside the country, and he started what is a rather prolonged medical leave, which the doctors say will end in a few months' time. They are confident that they would be able to deal with whatever problem, and we are also very confident that Bob will be back with us and that he will be fit to carry out his duties with the usual vigor that he has done, as he has done in the past. Many of you who are Bob's friend, Bob is a very friendly person and has many friends, and I understand many of you have passed your support to him, and this morning he did ask that we thank all of you who have supported him, and he hopes that he will be with you in the not distant future. In spite of all the speculation and all that about Bob's illness, we are not in the medical profession. We are not doctors. We don't know enough to be able to say what Bob's illness is about. In common with best practice anywhere, we would like to respect the confidentiality between Bob and his doctors. They are the people who know best, and it doesn't really help either Bob or yourself to speculate on this and to try and build some kind of picture which you don't know enough about. So I would humbly request that people, not only in this gathering but in the country, respect Bob's sensitivity at this time and offer him the support that he requires. There are then questions that have been raised about the company and the continuation of services in the period when Bob will be on leave. And what I would like to assure you and the country as a whole is that this company in its management is very strong. Bob's style of management has been such that he has encouraged managers to be able to hold their dockets and to operate within their space very independently and very efficiently. We have a very strong and robust team that's been working with Bob. And the only thing that may be lacking would be Bob's presence and his overall image and stature in society. plus, of course, a reference point for the management in case of need for leadership. That leadership has now been devolved as at yesterday when the board met. That has been devolved to Satish Kamath, the Chief Finance Officer, and Joe Ogutu, the Strategy Manager. And it is very clearly outlined for them what their roles will be. And because they have been working in a very integrated way with the whole of the team, we believe that the team will have full confidence in that leadership and that they will offer all the support that Joe and Satish need for this interim period. So we would like to assure the country that there is no vacuum. Obviously, there are many other things that Bob does outside the company and which perhaps the team is not entirely involved in. Those are different issues. But as far as the company itself is concerned, it's in strong hands, and I would like to assure you that we will be able to continue providing the services and products and the excellence of management which this company has been noted for. So we leave that there and assure you of the continuity of the strong performance of the company. Let me now say a few words about the context in which these results are going to be announced. You are most likely, I'm sure all of you are aware that the economic environment in which we are reporting these results has not been necessarily the best. The reports from the Economic Intelligence Unit show that the country's GDP, which should have grown at 5.5% in 2017, and that was down from 2016, but that has not perhaps been achieved, and it looks like we are talking now about a growth rate of somewhere around 5.3%. The IMF forecast that in 2018 the economy will be stagnant at around 5%, which indicates that we have some very tough times coming ahead. The drought that has hit this country in the immediate past has not entirely been ameliorated by the recent rains, and obviously the conditions that it created will continue to be felt for some time until the food production and other economic activities improve. So we're still dealing with a situation where the country is handling some famine in some areas, which has not yet been brought under control. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, inflation has fluctuated between 9% in February 2017 and 5% currently. And this is linked not only to the shortage of food and the cost of food, but also the cost of energy. Shrinking credit, arising from the amendment to the Banking Act in 2016, has seen shrinkage of capital to the private sector. According to our internal research, all these factors have also had a significant impact on how our customers spend their money. Over the past 4 months, monthly household expenditure across Kenya has been compressed by an average of 2,800 shillings, and yet household incomes have remained steady. This means that households have got to make adjustments in their spending and particularly in their household budgets. In a typical month, our customers will spend 28% of the household food budget on food, with 14% going towards other standard bills such as rent and monthly amenity costs. Some of the adjustments we have noted include decreasing what they spend on transport and household expenditure and on food. We can expect that credit or spend on our network is likely to be similarly affected in coming months. The economy is also dealing with the new international constraints, which include activities elsewhere, such as geopolitical developments in Europe, the Brexit issue, and also a change in the economic and international approach of the new United States government. All these are likely to translate to reduced foreign investments to emerging economies, including Kenya. However, according to the EIU, growth in Kenya will remain robust between 2017 and 2021, with an average of 5.8% as a result of sustained expansion in consumer services, urbanization, possible more East African integration, structural reforms, and very considerable investments in infrastructure. On another positive note, Kenya was ranked 80 out of 189 economies in the 2017 Ease of Doing Business report that was released by the World Bank. Against this backdrop, the telecommunications industry remains resilient, with the numbers of mobile subscribers growing to stand at 40.2 million by June 30, 2017. And this is according to the Communications Authority of Kenya. The mobile penetration level has risen by 2.5 percentage points to stand at 88.7% from 86.2% recorded in the previous quarter. This presents us with increased opportunity to expand our services to ensure that new users benefit from the mobile connectivity dividend. It's a constant reminder of the job we have in expanding our network to bring the remainder of the population to the table. Our strongest belief is that no one should be left behind in enjoying the connectivity dividend, as we have witnessed the great transformation this has had on people's lifestyles. At the same time, the regulatory environment has remained an important area for our operations. Noting the heightened concerns from investors on the impact of expanded regulatory intervention and how that will affect business, we have increased our efforts to remain compliant with all regulatory requirements. This we are doing by continuously assessing our processes against all applicable laws and regulations and best practice. We have gone a step further by integrating the UN Sustainable Development Goals into our business strategy. This year, we aligned our efforts with 9 of the goals and committed to promote ethical business practices, fight corruption in all its forms within Safaricom and the wider business community. We are committed to providing universal access to high-quality information and communications technology through our network as part of our work with the regulators. This is in line with SDG 9 on industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Going forward, we will continue to proactively engage with regulators on a number of ongoing issues which are not entirely resolved, such as information and communication sector regulations, SIM regulations, infrastructure sharing regulations, and national ICT policy. On the competition front, we continue to see increased aggressiveness from our competitors, both from traditional competitors in the telco sector and also entry of new non-telco players. We, however, remain confident that we will continue offering our customers superior and unmatched experience. At the business level, one of our major shareholders finally completed reorganization of their shareholding in the company, with Vodafone, which holds 35%, 40% of the shareholding, and now transferring 35% to Vodacom South Africa and retaining 5%. For Safaricom, this reorganization has made us, given us an expanded mandate to explore opportunities outside Kenya. Maybe I may explain that a little bit, in that we now have ability to access business opportunities that would have been limited in our original understanding with Vodafone, would have been restricted to Vodafone operations. We are currently looking at the external market, and once we pick an investment option, we will be very happy to share more details with our stakeholders. As you know, our corporate strategy is based on 3 strategic objectives, which are putting our customer first, providing relevant products, and aspiring to have operational excellence. We have kept this commitment, and the team will soon detail how this has been translated into the numbers, which I'm sure you'll be delighted to see. So as we reflect on the next half year, I wish to give the board's commitment to give the management all the necessary support to deliver great results on our journey to transforming lives. I want to take this opportunity, as always, to recognize the very, very strong commitment of this team, the maturity with which it deals with issues, and which gives me that strength of confidence that we are still in very good hands. Keep it up, good people. We depend on you, and I assure you we'll continue giving you all the support that you need from the board. So with these remarks, I would now like to ask, I think it's Joe Ogutu, to come up first and make a presentation in order to lay the ground for the numbers that will then be given to you by Satish Kamath. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.